Hello, Aries. Welcome to your mid-month checkpoint for March. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I'm sure many of you were frustrated that this didn't come out earlier. If you haven't checked out the post tab, I did describe everything that was going on, but I just had a slight health issue at the beginning of the month where I needed to take time off, take care of myself, and recover. I'm feeling much, much better now, so thank you for being patient. Health is the number one priority. So anyway, starting with the next round of videos, you'll be at the beginning. I'm also going to bring them into a slightly more concise form. So I think change is good. Let's lean into it. Before I begin, let's say hello to Apollo, who's right behind us. Hey, buddy. Good boy. All right, let's get into your channeled messages. I saw the same sort of object in three forms, a mirror. One was a looking glass, one was a rear view mirror in a car, and then the other one was a mirror that you would see in a camera that kind of like takes a picture. So let's talk about the three iterations of this symbol. The first, taking accountability. So when there's a mirror held up in front of you, symbolically Spirit's saying, look within, look around, look at yourself. Celebrate the success, and then also identify areas in your life where you want to change. This is going to help you strategically and really tactically move forward on the next step. Now, if we think of like a fun room mirror, sometimes they can be warped. So one way to check your assumptions is to talk to someone else, a mentor, a counselor, a friend. That can help you focus and make sure that your point of view is as open and perceptive as possible. So that's the first one, is introspection, meditation, and looking within. The rear view mirror, much like you would see in a vehicle, helps you see what's going on behind you. Symbolically, this represents learning from the past. Things that have gone well, let's repeat that. Things that haven't gone so well, let's figure out how we can avoid it. Let's course correct if necessary. The mirrors also help you see what's going on in the periphery. Is there something that you're missing because you're going so fast? So this is a moment to really tune in as well. And the camera piece is about capturing some of this, capturing your learnings, your thoughts, your goals. And then when it comes to maybe pitching an idea to someone or putting yourself out there for an opportunity, if you can encapsulate what you're trying to do through some sort of a write-up or a picture or a blueprint or a script or whatever it is, capturing the vision for the future is also very important. The big takeaway from all the different mirrors is look around, look within, be present. I feel like many of you might have been moving at such a rapid speed that you haven't had that moment to decompress. And once we get out of school, and if you're like me and working for yourself, it's not like there's a boss checking in on you. If you're retired, you understand what I'm talking about too. No one's grading the progress. Really, all that ever matters is how you feel about the progress anyway. So I'm just asking you to take a moment and reflect. Now, I'm going to look at the cards here in just a moment. We'll see if there's anything coming through where there's an opportunity to learn from the past, or there's something that you need to capture and really capitalize on right now, and any other sort of metaphors of the mirror that I mentioned. So let's shuffle the cards and see what Spirit has to say. Please take a moment and release any thoughts that might be present in your mind. Imagine that you're outside under the warm sun, connecting to source energy. In that warmth of the sunlight, feel that there's a halo of light around your body. You can reinforce it with a circle around you. And within that circle, know that you are protected and connected to source energy. You can welcome in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. Very interesting energy this month because I kept getting a couple of double cards, so we'll see what that's all about, including starting with the catalyst. So we have an earthworm reversed and then an otter. Let's talk about the earthworm first. So earthworms are an amazing symbol because they're a sign of fertile soil. As they move through the soil, they create spaces and aerate it. Also, what they leave behind is fertilizer too, so it enriches the soil. It allows air, water, and then again, this new fertile material to be there. So to me, this is a sign of abundance. Now, as a totem, it represents flexibility and grounding. So the fact that this isn't grounded, it's reversed, may mean that you're feeling in this moment that things are just a little unmanageable, that you don't know where to put the first foot to get walking and create momentum. You're being encouraged to embrace ambiguity in the unknown and then find areas where you can ground yourself in purpose, in focus, okay? Beneath that card, we have the otter. They are known to be playful. That's one of the symbols of this particular totem. They're also highly intelligent. They can use tools to get into some of the shellfish. So finding a way around something, using the tools in front of you, and also your own sort of skills. I believe ecologically they're also very important because they help kelp by keeping sea urchin populations under control. So these are quite an interesting totem to come through. So you might have hidden talents, and you might be doing more for people than they realize. And part of the opportunity this month could be holding up sort of like a demonstration of what you've done and saying, hey, this is what I've been contributing. This is for the workers out there. For everyone else in a relationship, it could be a sort of subtle reminder to your partner that, you know, you're contributing more than they might realize. This is also connected with love, playful energy in relationships, and it's about making time to connect with people that you care about. Okay, let's see how the spread is looking for you. So at the center, that relationship energy comes through with the 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, and definitely some changes going on in your life, changes for the better, but changes nonetheless, and that can be difficult sometimes. So let's take it a couple cards at a time here. With the center card, it's 2. Actually, today we have 9 of Wands with the 10 of Pentacles underneath it. We'll start with the 9 of Wands since that's the one on top. This is about hard work and getting really close to the finish line. Typically, there's a level of exhaustion or being like worse for the wear on this. We would see someone with a bandage around their head. So what often happens as you get close to the finish line is fatigue. In the 10 of Wands, you can even see the person hunched over. Take a moment. That's why the reflection energy was coming through. Reflect on just how far you've come. And most importantly, with the 9 of Wands, always finish what you started. It's worth it. Beneath it, we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is teamwork, contracts, love, family, co-workers. You don't have to do this alone. You can, in multiple areas of your life, lean on the other people. It's upright, which means that it's there as a support system. In all good 10 of Pentacles, you'll always see the archway behind. So there's people that can help hold you up, keep you strong, especially when you're entering into change or new moments in your life. That's what the friends, family member, and coworker energy is all about this month. But the most important thing is you're very close to accomplishing something, so keep up the good work and don't give up. One other message before I put it back on the spread. This can be a card of being pushed into something. And sometimes friends and family members try to push us to do something, whether it's get married, do a certain type of career path or job, or take a certain class or whatever it is. Push back on that sort of pressure. I do see familial or peer pressure coming through. Now, on top of this, we have the Magician, one of the best cards you can get because it's the beginning of manifestation. At his altar, the Magician has every tool necessary, and I told you how the otter is well versed at using tools. So, if you feel stuck, there's probably something within reach, either a human resource, a friend, or a counselor, or an actual like tangible resource, maybe a book or a tool that can help you solve the problem. The thing with the Magician, though, is sometimes he can get distracted because there's too many things on the table. And so if we figuratively look at this, you might have too much going on. It's like a really messy desk where you can't find what you're looking for. So that introspection could just be clearing and cleaning out the mental cobwebs, maybe literally clearing out your schedule or clearing off your desk so that you can see what's important, what you have, and from there you probably have more than you think and more than you need to move forward, okay? This is also a card that reminds you of the importance of thoughts. Thoughts manifest. If you believe things are going to be difficult, they might be. If you believe that they could be easy, that you can do this, you might find an easier way. Faith and focus. These are two things that the magician, a good magician, uses as his biggest assets. And then he also has the other tools here. So don't give up hope and stay focused. All right, looking at the deep past, this is probably one of the challenges, Aries, that's coming through for you. This can represent difficulty in saying no. Justice, when reversed like she is here, is basically saying, this doesn't work. I need to remedy this. No. Sometimes no is all you need. It's a full sentence in addition to being a single word. Of course, justice is also about fighting for what's right. And when the card is reversed, there could be something where you're not getting what you deserve in wages, in support, in recognition. Whatever it might be, she's going to use that sword, which represents not just going to battle, but also like articulating things. And she's going to say, this is what I need. Let's make this happen. It doesn't have to be a threat. It can just be articulation. I need this. We agree to this. What are we going to do to address this? Or how about we do this to address this? Or even better, let's fix this by doing this. The stronger and clearer you can get, the better. Because when you ask a question, you're giving power to that person. When you say, we didn't agree to this, let's do this. Now you've said this isn't right, and this is the action we're taking. You've stepped into leadership. So it's really about being outspoken and just saying no or showing the solution so that you can find balance in your life. That last piece, finding balance in your life, can also extend to just creating enough space for fun, for health, for well-being, in addition to work, recognition, etc. You need a little bit of everything, and this is a chance to make sure that you're not taken for granted, okay? So hopefully most of you have already addressed that, but if by this checkpoint you haven't, that's one area that you can focus on it. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position. This is very much like the rear view mirror that I was talking about. Knights pause when they're reversed. They pause, look around, and look back. This knight, because we're looking at Pentacles, is saying, is it worth it? And worth is not just money. It's level of time and energy invested. It's love and affection. And if you're the one that's constantly investing, at the end of the day, the battery is empty. The petrol or gas tank is empty and you're running on fumes and a prayer. So we don't want that to happen. That's where these two cards work together and you stand up for yourself and say, I need a little more, and this is what we're going to do to remedy that. One final message before I put this down. This can also be a decision to invest in yourself. Taking some resources and going back to school, because we have the Eight of Pentacles here. Taking some resources and investing in a business or an opportunity or something that makes you feel a better sense of fulfillment. Crowning position. This is what it's all about this month, what's left of it. We have the Star card in the crowning position reversed. A lot of times this will make an appearance when we change ourselves to please others. Someone in your life may pretend to love you unconditionally, but they're putting conditions on it. If you could only do this or be this, I would love you more. Why can't you be more like this person? Whoever's saying that, they're not truly seeing you. They're looking at a mirror and trying to make that mirror image you, or they want to kind of craft you in the version of themselves that they never realized. Don't dim your light to please others. If we look at the traditional card, we can see also the two chalices or cups. This is also about weighing out what matters to you. The reflective stuff that I talked about earlier, the inner reflection, it's really asking yourself at this point, rather than waiting for some arbitrary milestone like a birthday or whatever, what am I tracking? Is this what I want? Stars are conspicuous. You see them in the sky. They shine, every night. So when the star card comes through, you're meant to shine. It is your moment. Even if you've been on the sidelines, waiting, feeling like your light is dimmed over the past, this month and easing into next month, you're actually going to have a chance to step into the spotlight. It could be a surprise. Someone could call you front and center and say, I need your help on this, or put you on the spot and say, what do you think? Breathe when that happens and think, I've been waiting for this. Okay, we're going to do this. And just like all of the constellations in the sky, there's more than one star that can be present at the same time. So by definition, you do not need to be less than in order to fit in. If that's the case, there's something better waiting for you, whether it's a person, place, or an opportunity. Don't dim your light. In the near future, we have 8 of Pentacles reversed, but nonetheless a very good card. This is about education, learning, knowledge. For many of you, you might be digging into something that you really, really enjoy and learning a lot from it. It can be sort of like on-the-job education as well. Because this card was reversed, it can also represent editing, revising, reviewing things. So especially when it comes to the small details. This is a great time for all of that. You're so close to the finish line with this. It's not like there has to be a lot of work done to bring it to a point of completion, but it's worth the time and energy that you're investing. Again, pay attention to the finishing touches. This is going to be well worth it. This is also an investment card, so if there's something that you truly care about and you feel that sense of learning and expansion, that's what you should be focusing on. This is the big card for the spread here because it represents you. We have death in reverse. This is ending stagnation. So if there's any part of your life where you just feel like you're dragging your feet, things aren't moving quickly enough, this comes through to say that is the area to focus on. It can be a wake-up call with your health. I had one earlier this month. It's a brush with death. So sometimes it's just the doctor saying, hey, you got to change this or this is going to happen. Or you notice a family tendency in the sort of genetics of your family. You're like, I don't want to repeat that. I'm going to make some changes. All of that. If you're sitting too much, this is sedentary energy when it's reversed. Upright, death is change. Reversed, death is stagnation. So we want to avoid like just sitting in the same space with thoughts, with your body, with life in general. We want to push things forward just a little bit. And ultimately, you can't stop change. So this also can represent resistance to making the necessary change or movement in your life, okay? In the environment, we have the King of Pentacles. For some of you, there could be a change of jobs or a change of relationship as well, because that was connected. The King of Pentacles is very, very good in the environment. This can represent someone who sees your value or your worth. It can be a new job. It could be a new way to invest your money or maybe capitalize on something, selling a house or something of that nature, because this is connected to the home. We like that that is there. It doesn't necessarily represent you, but something that's available to you. This is why it's important to use the energy of the mirrors to look around. Reflect on opportunities, including missed opportunities. It's not too late. It's still within reach. The magician just needs to kind of wave his wand and say, I think I want that. I think I'm worth that. Let's do this, okay? Yes, there can also be an earth sign entering into your life as well. Okay, right above it we have the sun. The sun is fantastic for hopes, fears, and opportunities. This is representing the ability to be reborn. So where this is death, this is a baby coming through. It's rebirth. Usually the child is much younger on this card. If there's something that you've been dragging your feet on, now is the time to launch it, try it, or do it. And as an aspect of your own personality, this is showing that you're never too old to reinvent yourself or to be reimagined. These are just two cards of the same energy named different things, because our sun is a star. It's just the closest star to us, and that's the name. So this is your potential. It's the ability to really lean into that energy of shining and doing and being. But it's also fun, young, and irreverent. So sometimes we make things so serious. We take things too seriously. And this is about just kind of like rolling with the punches and being a little bit more vulnerable, a little less edited, a little more you, okay? As we look at the outcome, I would say this is one of the first significantly challenging cards next to Justice reversed and maybe death. But this one is something that you can, at least you know what you need to focus on, at least. Three of Swords can represent emotions that are kind of getting in the way of seeing what's next. Maybe there's something that has transpired that disappoints you, like the Death card reversed. You feel like I'm not tracking, I'm not where I want to be, where I need to be. And that gives you permission to move beyond it. Sometimes we need to feel that sense of, it's not like pain, but like discomfort. Because just like an itch or some sort of pain on the body, it makes you pay attention to it. So learn from whatever is causing this emotional shift or is creating a little friction, and say to yourself, I think I'm done with this. What do I need to do to release the pain and to get on a path where I can feel more love, more appreciation, more fulfillment? Okay? But never sweep the Three of Swords under the rug. Always address it. What's the root cause of it for you? As I mentioned here, for some of you, it's either stagnation or maybe imbalance. And there's a lot of tools that we talked about today that can help you lean into a necessary shift. All right, we're now going to move into the expanded forecast. Before I do all of that, just a quick note. The expanded forecast is going to be health, wealth, love, and destiny. I'm going to move at a more rapid pace. So if you ever want to schedule a reading with me, you can go to my website and all the information is there. With that being said, let's go ahead and start off with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. We have a shape-shifting card coming through. This is a sort of like symbol in folklore that is able to change from, I think, a seal into a human. And if I remember correctly, if they are caught without the skin, they're stuck in this particular form. So what we're looking at is situations in our lives that make us feel trapped or make us feel like we're stagnating. So a very similar sort of energy. There can also be a trickster vibe because of that having to protect the skin, right? So really pick and choose people that you are spending time with, spending money on, spending energy with in your life, and make sure that they're worth it. Vet them out. Because this card is connected to skin, if it's been a minute since you've gone to the dermatologist, absolutely do that. Maybe change up the routine when it comes to sunblock and skincare. All right. Generally looking at all of this, let's talk about what's coming through. Focusing on flexibility. Yoga and stretching are a great way to do that, and they're both low impact. Having a little bit more fun, the otter, more playtime in your life, things that bring joy. Like I said earlier, there might be a significant wake-up call that is coming forth that you need to pay attention to. Interestingly enough, the King of Pentacles tends to overindulge, and that can be too much eating, too much working, too much worrying, too much anything. Moderation is your friend and is the key to success. Some of you might be thinking of expanding your family, or you might be pregnant because we have the Sun card here. So solar plexus energy is also something you want to pay attention to. Three of Swords can represent not just pain and discomfort, but for me, it was blood pressure. For you, it could be blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar. It's things that affect the heart. So if you haven't talked to your primary doctor in a while, or if you have a cardiologist and you haven't booked an appointment, it's a good time to do that. Look at family markers. Make sure that everything is where it needs to be in all of the tests. And that's a good thing to do no matter what, really. Other than that, Nine of Wands usually has a bandage around the head, so it can represent, for many of you, work-based stress because it's touching the Ten of Pentacles, which is typically responsibilities. So try to manage the stress, find an outlet, again, doing something that's fun, and really focus on balance in your life. By the way, inner ear with the Justice card in reverse. Sometimes we have issues with our ear that can create the balance. It can also be due to blood sugar or other aspects of your life. So obviously talk to a doctor if you're having balance issues. All right, we're going to move on from health to wealth, which is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. This is so wonderfully synchronistic to the earthworm because I mentioned this earthworm should be upright, and so it's not grounded. So we're trying to get grounded in life and in energy and in business in particular. Why are you spending time and energy and money on a certain thing? Is it creating more abundance and more support, or is it sapping and tapping you out? That's the important thing. All right, we're going to break this down into a few categories. Like I said, the pacing will be a little bit faster, but I'm going to try to find the high points here. If you're currently employed, I feel like you're doing too much. With the Justice card in reverse, you either need more support, more time, more money, something's off. You're carrying a heavier load than you need to. And you're definitely worth more. So this could be a great time to talk to your boss about future goals. Get it in writing, though. We don't have a lot of swords here except the sword that the Justice person is carrying, so get it in writing. You are conspicuous in a good way this month, but lead by example. People are paying attention. You want to make sure that you're talking the talk and walking the walk. The Eight of Pentacles is also showing that this is a good time for training. And again, just getting things documented. If you're unhappy, if you feel stuck, you have a good chance of finding something new. So stick around for job seeking. For entrepreneurs, it feels like you are at a point where you have to evolve the company a little bit. This could involve changes in size. Either you're too small or too big and you have to adjust accordingly. It could also represent lagging sales. And so what you might have to do is look at incentives, maybe cutting a product or service or something of that nature. The good thing, though, is I see a lot of value within the company. I see hard work and hard workers around you. And I think it's just about maybe pricing the product differently. It's either under or overpriced, or streamlining a little bit, doing less but doing it better. Lean into this energy here and make sure you're happy with what you're doing. Since you're an entrepreneur, you can more directly affect your outcome than a lot of the other subcategories that I look at here. If you're job seeking right now, there may not be a lot going on right now. That's okay. Continue to plant seeds. And we actually see this is more for you than anything. Stay grounded in what it is you're trying to accomplish. Don't give up. Continue to put out a certain amount of applications per day or per week, and know that the odds eventually are in your favor with respect to that, and one of those will percolate. It may take a little longer than you want. The 8 of Pentacles means it could be 8 days or so before you hear back, but it is worth it. Really pay attention to the details and find a way to kind of shine or show up differently in the way that you apply, the way that you use. If you have a portfolio or the words that you choose, something needs to stand out just a little bit. It's more than money, though. There is one job that is showing up here, but it feels like it's dead end. There's another one where you could learn on the job and it's a lower title. I'm almost more of a fan of that. For students, it's kind of an interesting mixed bag. What I love at the center is the 10 of Pentacles. It feels like you're very invested and you're getting a lot out of it. Hard work as well. The ability to take this to the distance. I feel like you're set up for success with what you're learning. However, there's a part of you that with the Justice card in reverse is wondering, is this what I wanted, or did I do this to please someone else? If you're early enough in the path, you can always change your major, or you can always add a minor in or change the program around a little bit. Some of you may just have too much on your plate, so do less. The Death card is the most important thing, though. If it's reversed like it is for you, it's showing that there's a part of this that doesn't feel right. Talk to your counselor. You may just be stuck in a class that isn't working for you. So there may be a different elective, a different way that you can approach it. Or like I said, you might be looking at shifting majors or schools. So you can do that. It's not always easy, but it is worth it, because if you're going to do something, do it right, especially when it's education. You're going to soak in whatever you put your energy into. So this is, for many of you, just a small moment in time that feels bigger than it is. There also could just be a loss in your life that you're dealing with. And for that, talking to someone can help, okay? We really want to make sure that emotionally you have the support that you need. The 3 of Swords can represent that feeling of being alone or feeling like things just aren't going in the right direction. But ultimately, the rest of the cards look good. So pick a path that feels right for you. Make sure that your major and minor and your school choice is one that you want, not your parents' family or people around you, okay? You've got to love this. Retirees. This can be mortality creeping in, and this feeling of, I haven't done everything that I want to do. Then this is a chance to do it. For some of you, you might want to, it feels like you might want to do some work or go to school. That's fine. You can always pivot a little bit or do some volunteer stuff. This is also connected, as I'm looking at the Sun card, to maybe getting out in the world, traveling, working more with younger kids, because this is a youthful card. I've been seeing that in the last 2 or 3 signs, so it's not unique to just you. But the Justice card in reverse also shows me that some of you may be newly widowed or widowers or divorced. And now you're thinking, what next? There's so much to focus on. You can kind of go wherever you want to go with respect to that. And it could either be learning something new, getting out there on a spiritual path and learning more about that, having some fun with new peers, maybe meeting new people, and that's a good segue into love. So for love this month, we have the Bear coming through. The Bear is interesting because it can be a little bit imposing when you look at it. In one of the decks that I have, this is connected with Suit of Pentacles. So the Mama Bear is usually Queen of Pentacles. So some of you may really feel confident in who you are, but it's hard to let other people in. So don't be defensive. You can be discerning, but Open yourself up a little bit when it comes to the relationships that matter in your life. And maybe you're just awakening, coming out of hibernation, rebounding a little bit. Let's look at this from 3 perspectives. If you're currently partnered, you went through a challenge in the past, the deep past, but you got through that, which is good. There's something coming through now, which is difficult as well. You may feel like the relationship has hit a plateau or a natural sort of lull. What I like about the potential for the two of you is this is a card of passion and connection. This is showing that there could be like a soul connection, like a karmic energy. So I feel like if you want to do the work, you can succeed. If you're unhappy, though, you have to talk to the partner about that. This could also just be work stress, which we talked about. This can also be for some of you an external person, like a grandparent or an in-law that's coming in and injecting their energy. But we want to really address what's going on with the 3 of Swords. So talk to your partner if you're upset, or if you're just feeling like you're stuck in life a little bit, because they can be with you and support you to kind of make the necessary change that you need to make. Okay. Let's move on to those who are single and looking. If you're single and looking, can you find someone? Yes. We have right here an earth sign in the environment, but it may not take off as quickly as you want. I also see for some of you, you might have a child, or they might have a child, or the desire to get married and start a family is very much front and center. Check in and see if that's aligned to you. That's a conversation the two of you should probably have sooner than later. An Aquarius could be in the picture as well, feeling a little bit better about the Aquarius than the earth sign. Ultimately, I think there's a chance for you to do a little bit of recalibration. If there's something where you're not happy about where you're at, that should be dealt with. If there's some other emotional issues going on in your life, focus on mental health and emotional well-being before you jump into something new. But yes, you can find someone. Just double check on level of commitment. If there's an ex in the picture, if there's a child in the picture, if that's something you're looking for, great. If it isn't, I'm just highlighting something to be aware of. Also, it just feels like there's a lot going on with your work or perhaps with their job. Might be where you meet them, by the way, too. For those of you that are single and happy, this is a good time to really be unattached, because if there's something that you want to untether from, you can do it. You can definitely put more of a focus into work. I think that the biggest challenge for you is to find things outside of work and activities. Relationships may play a part in this. New friendships, new alliances. The social sphere is important. One thing that I do with my dog every night or whenever I get a chance is to try and do a walk with some friends in the community, because it gets him outside, me outside, and it allows us to kind of decompress a little bit. I'll pull a picture of Apollo up. As he does his little stretch, he's like, "Dad, did you just mention a walk?" Yeah, it's amazing how important that is for all of us. Look at him stretching. Hey, buddy, how's it going? All right. So finding those extracurricular things, those social things, are just as important. It doesn't matter if you're single and happy. That means sometimes you need to work a little bit more because you don't have the same connections that you would if you were partnered. So lean into those social activities and keep me posted. Okay, one more category, destiny. So with destiny, we have brave the journey. I like this. This is showing that it's almost like a fool energy. Some of you are getting ready to embark on something new. And that first step is always the most challenging or discombobulating, but many times it's also the most invigorating, because once you set things into motion, it gets easier every step that you take. Maybe you need some support to make that happen. I was just talking about friends. See if you can get that cheer squad or sort of hype team there to help you out, and that'll help you get into that path that you're looking for. All right, you have a chance to look at one final card. Anything that you might still need some advice on, go ahead and ask Spirit. I'm going to shuffle the cards and we'll see what it has to say. Well, isn't that beautifully synchronistic? 2 of Cups, but reversed. So for a yes or no, it's a little more nuanced. Yes, but you might need some help. You might need to talk to someone before proceeding forward. And if it's more of like a relationship energy, make sure that there's mutual attraction and you're on the same page. But ultimately, the power of 2 is coming through here. Friendship, partnership, mentorship, or just the people that you trust in your life, leaning on them a little bit more. The last message on this from Spirit is don't sell yourself short. Say goodbye to the imposter syndrome. If someone comes through and they see value in you, welcome that in. and say, yeah, I'm worth it. I don't have to worry if this is going to be a repeat of an old relationship or something that didn't work before. Welcome in that love, that friendship, and that support. The power of 2 is saying you can do this, okay? Thank you guys so much again for being patient, for letting me take the time that I wanted to take to make sure that this was a good quality reading. It means a lot to me. As I said before, if you've been a longtime viewer but you've never subscribed, please subscribe. If you're brand new, please do the same. It's free, it helps the channel, and it makes my day. So thank you in advance. You can also go to my website. There's a lot of different ways that you can connect from there. One, you can join another free thing, a newsletter. I don't send it out too often. It might be every month or 2. When there's something to say, I send it out. So feel free to join that. You can also find all of the official links on my website so you can follow me across social media. It's always my full name, by the way, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all the platforms. I'm most recently on Substack, so you can check that out if you want to. You can also give back through PayPal if you would like to do that. Or you can book a private reading. And as I said earlier, I've opened up the schedule. I'd love to connect with some of you. You can also give back here on YouTube by becoming a member or leaving a sticker. Videos like this are very helpful and really allow me to do what I'm doing. The smaller videos, I actually don't make money on, like the dailies. So that's where these tips really come through and help me do the dailies and make it all possible. So if you can give. If not, just watch, support, and leave a comment. All of that helps as well. That being said, I just want to say have a fantastic month ahead. Thank you for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. Wishing you all the best, and I'll see you again soon for more daily, weekly, and monthly videos. Take care.